All right, we're live. We're live. We're live. It is 5:30 p.m. Woohoo! It is Tuesday, January the 24th of the year 2023. Approximately 35 degrees. We have a big snow event happening here today, and they're predicting 4 to 7 inches of snow. But currently, our roads are not cold enough for it to stick on the roads, so that's kind of good. Very happy about that. But it would be kind of nice to have a major snow event. We'll see if the temperatures drop down below. Hey James, how are you, my friend? Let's see what else we're talking about. Snowing, 35 degrees, dark outside, all that good stuff. Everything else is good. Let me see what I don't have any. You can't hear me? So you can't. James, can you hear me? Crap. Hello, hello. Okay, so it should work. All right, so James can hear me. All right, so that's good. All right, let's see if the Yank wants to visit. So yeah, James, we're having. What's that?
No sound.
You can't hear me?
Hello?
James can hear me.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Okay, you got your speaker on because I think James can hear me because
Let me see.
he recognized the fact that we're getting snow here. So James, you can hear me, right?
I don't get no 20.
My thingy is going up and down, so it says it's working. I'm not muted,
Am I the only one?
so I'm double checking. Yeah, James can hear me, so it must be you, Mr. Yank.
Check.
Maybe you got your speaker turned off somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we exciting. The next couple of days, it actually
Hello?
snows. I can kind of hear you. You're doing that broke up thing a little bit again, a little staticky.
I don't hear you at all.
So you're coming across staticky, Mr. Yank.
I don't hear you one bit.
So you kind of sounds like your headphone jack isn't quite in.
Am I the only one?
Oh, there you go. I can hear you better. But yeah, you,
All right. It's only a breath.
yeah. Well, that's an interesting. We are in the process of. Can you hear me? I'm looking out the window, guys. Hey, James says he can hear me. I'm looking out the window. Something kind of interesting happening. It's the roads are still warming up.
Now I can hear you.
It's not snowing on the road.
You're. I just watched the news. You're going to get more snow than us.
Yeah, we're predicted to get 4 to 7 inches. But you got to love nature and science. So it's still only 35 degrees here. The roads are not freezing. The driveways that are getting the northern wind, circulating around to the north, the driveways have snow, the sidewalks have snow. The southern ones, which is what mine is, mine faces the south, has no accumulation on it. So it's just kind of cool. We have one side of the street that's all snowing. This side, just the grass is snowy.
Well, I was
Kind of cool.
one house uh, I had mega snow drifts, and each guy on each side of me didn't have what I had. But I
Oh
got,
yeah,
yeah, it was real. And then they had power outages. My house was hooked up to a different line for some reason, so everybody on both sides, me and across the street, had power, and I didn't.
that is strange.
Yeah, so I was pissed because every time it thundered, as a matter of fact, I had to call in work one time because I couldn't get my car out of the garage, you know?
Yeah,
And just after 5 minutes after I called up the boss, then the lights come on.
yeah. We had some ice storms. Give me a second.
Hmm.
We had some ice storms a few years back. That was worse. We had like, a half an inch to an inch of ice on power lines and trees.
Uh-huh.
It flatly made a mess out of this part of the country. I mean, luckily, if your utilities ran underground, you were okay. If
Yeah.
they didn't, you were screwed. And I was lucky enough that the house I owned at the time was underground electric. So mine stayed on, but it's like our whole neighborhood had electricity. But I called up some friends and they're all freezing to death and because they didn't have electricity. Because the power went out. They had a
Hmm.
So you just never know, man. And streets are done that way. Sometimes there's power, they don't run like this, they kind of run
Hmm.
parallel.
Okay.
So you supposed to get snow up there?
Yeah. Tomorrow or tonight. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m.
All
But
right.
they just showed a camera from down there in Arkansas. I don't know what city it was. I don't know if it was a Hendersonville or something. I don't
Okay.
know. And it showed that you'll be getting more snow than us this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check this.
We're on the edge of this system, so we've been
Okay.
cold as what right now. But
Yeah, it's our problem is it's only 33 degrees, 35 degrees,
35. Yeah.
or that's the good thing, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it.
Hmm.
But let's see what this little a heavy mix they're saying we're getting currently. But yeah, they were saying earlier 4 to 7 inches, but you never know.
4 to 7 inches. Wow.
4 to 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
I guess I also saw something in the news, the weather news, that
Damn.
New York, the city of New York, hasn't got a snowfall yet this year.
What's
So
that?
the city of New York City, had
Yeah.
not received a snowfall yet this year. So they were saying this morning on the
Hmm.
Weather Channel that they were hoping that they would get their first snow of the year. That's what they were kind of saying.
Shoot.
So but
Freaking Buffalo got walloped a couple different times.
yeah, it looks like they're going to get it again. But
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know that. You know,
Man, they have 6 feet of snow 2 3 weeks ago, something like that.
yeah, I'm trying to. Let's see, maps, monthly forecast, hurricanes
Yeah, I think it was.
currently.
I think
It just
they had more. They had more after that too.
Well, it looks like something in Chicago is going to be snowy. That's for sure. Here's our winter storm warning. Let me see if I can find our winter storm warning. What it says. So
Uh,
up to 12 inches of snow possible. Woohoo! Up to 12 inches. They've increased it,
wow,
and I think
12 inches. You might be getting 12 inches of snow, huh?
yeah, that's what it said. Up to it was just 4 to 7, but now it's
Wow.
definitely more.
Wow.
but that's all right. You know.
Oh, man, beautiful day. Well, I hate this shit though. I got no use for this. What do you do out in this shit? If
Oh,
you
we
don't,
don't do anything at all.
if you don't go down a hill on a slide, what's the point dealing with
Yeah.
this shit?
Or if you're not into snowmobiling or four wheeling, or snow
Yeah,
skiing,
but
if you're
anybody,
not into,
it's a shrinking group of people. But for any seniors, that got that good pension, why the hell would you stay up in this shit? They're gonna be in a box for eternity.
well, a lot of it is just comfort. They know the areas, and there are a lot of great places that are a lot that are
Hey,
cheap to live if you're on
comfort.
a pension. Whether it's super good or just average.
Uh,
You know,
oh well.
one thing to I know somebody now who's in the process of moving from Florida to Missouri and going to build a house and have a little chicken farm. For her retirement. But she lived in Florida all her life. So she's like, man, it's time to get out of here. It's time to go live somewhere else. And Missouri's a whole lot cheaper, a whole
Yeah,
lot
I don't know about
than the state of Florida.
Brazil. State of Florida doesn't have they don't have state income tax unless you buy something. I mean, property tax wise, they're one of the cheapest in the country. Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig, how are you, man? If you're available, you're welcome to join us up here. Um, they are, but the problem with, and I love Florida. There's the Panhandle of Florida is my favorite part.
Oh boy, and man, I remember my first trip with the ex-wife. We used to go with the kids down there. Oh my God, I was in such heaven. And then I'd go from 85 degrees to gray and cold and shit. I'd be complaining for a month about the
Yeah,
no heat.
the big problem in Florida right now is the housing insurance rates have gone up so much.
Hey, you
So
know what? I don't know. I got this realtor on one of my messenger or something, and they showed this brand new house, and it's just your basic 3 bedroom lanai area, a small swimming pool.
Mhm.
They wanted $500,000. I sent the guy a message. I said, if somebody's willing to buy that for $500,000, I got a bridge I want to sell them because that's ridiculous. You would have to be if you had that much money to buy a house, you would be in a different neighborhood. You know.
Yeah, it all depends. I mean, to be honest, the area that we live in, we
Mhm.
have, I couldn't imagine. We probably have, I don't know, 200 homes that are worth over $1 million at least, if not more
Yeah,
than that, maybe three,
yeah.
400 homes. Oh, maybe, God, maybe even more than that, as big as this area is. I don't know, but finding $1 million home where we're at is not very hard. So maybe
Uh,
I'm way low. I mean, it's not hard at all. So James says hello to Craig. Everybody says hello. And Craig says, good day, James from down under. We got to get some shrimp on the barbie. Well, that's kind of the country hick thing, not the Australian accent, isn't it? So,
uh,
mm,
what a comedian.
oh, you got to have fun in life, Mr. Yank.
Uh,
You know,
yeah.
life is too short. I've been busy working, man. Did you watch you see you missed a live stream yesterday. I did.
Yesterday did one.
I did one yesterday impromptu, where I learned some things, which is very helpful. I gotta thank the Scotty B show. He came on and taught me how to use StreamYard better.
Oh,
So that was cool. So
hmm.
I'm very very happy I learned some things. But I did a box opening live yesterday and had some watches and showed everybody the
Well,
watch.
I might have watched the unboxing. I forget what the heck. Oh, that was that watch in there, right?
Yeah, that's one I did
I
as a
watched
video.
that one.
Yeah, as a video. That was a heartbreaker, but it's okay. It's
Heartbreaker.
So I'm getting ready to sell my 20 watch collection. I have 20 watches now that I've been
20,
working on.
20 watches.
I think tonight we're going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to try to figure, because here's a debate, because I was at a party the other night and this question came up, or this topic came up, because of course, so the question tonight is, did I even put it in here? Or am I just a big slacker?
Big what? Slacker.
Slacker, me. So my question
What was the question?
what is the
Say it again. A slacker as far as what? Doing what in life? Or what?
you know what a slacker is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my question was, am I just being a big slacker? Because I forgot, I didn't know if I put the question in the ticker part. I couldn't remember, but I did. So I was asking if I'm just a big slacker or did I do a good job? And apparently, since I got it in there, I did a good job. So we were at this party the other night, a birthday party for somebody, nice people. And I was talking to some people. And of course, it was a Filipino party mainly. And of course, they believe that the Filipino food is the best in the world. But the topic came up and I talked, and so you get different opinions. And Bill, how are you?
Pretty good yourself.
Good. Welcome to the live show. How are you, man? You still in Hawaii?
Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, still in
You're
the
real
way.
low.
What's that? Am I
Your volume.
okay? Let me. How about now? Is that any better?
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't hit the bypass button, so it was all set.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So what are you up to?
Well, being gorgeous, but other than that,
So you are you okay?
yeah.
Did you get hit in the head?
No, not today.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
You guys were talking about all that snow, and yeah, I mean, I really feel you guys. It's 75-ish outside right now. Nice breeze going.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're getting hammered. The temp's dropping,
Oh, man.
and so we may get a foot of snow. But yeah, I was saying I was at a party the other night, and of course a Filipino party,
Mm.
and I was talking to some guys and girls and listening, and the Filipino food is good food. I'm not criticizing it, but the question came up. There's a debate about whether it's the best food in the world, and I was very careful about not to express my opinion in front of all these Filipino women, so that they wouldn't stab me with a fork. But so that's my question. James says here, a lot of the .com startup employees have moved out of San Francisco into rural areas like Arkansas, California, and elsewhere because they can work from home. We've had that happen here, James. We have a lot of people moving to this part of the country that are online workers.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's the best food in the world? Do you have an opinion, anybody?
Well, I can tell you it's not the Philippine food.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Yank, talked about how bad China's food was. So he
I,
insulted the whole entire country of China. But so I guess we can insult the Philippines.
I eat Philippine food like every day, right? So, and I have for years. But if I'm in a food court and you got all the different foods from around the world, I'm not going to a Filipino restaurant. I'm going to go to. It might be Italian. It might
Okay.
You're
be
not going to be in the Philippines.
Thai. No, yeah, I'm just saying if it's an all inclusive.
Yeah, no, that's what we're looking at. Every country in the world is represented, and you can choose where would you go. Craig says that Thai and Chinese food's way ahead of Pinoy food. Yeah.
Thai food is really good. Going to Thailand and eating the food there, it really,
Mr.
it
Yank, we can't hear
blew
you.
my mind. I don't know what happened to
You
his.
can't
Yeah, your
can't
volume
hear
is
me?
really low.
Sounded like he was getting choppy. Maybe that snowstorm is getting him.
He's not getting snow.
Isn't that
Yeah,
good?
that's better. All right.
Yeah, we're getting snow. Come on.
So, Mr. Yank, Craig says that Thai and Chinese food is way ahead of Pinoy's. What do you think?
I don't like my taste buds don't agree with that kind of food. I just
Ah,
they don't do nothing for me. I need Italian or mild Mexican or something. I don't like that.
I think, and I'll
I've
just
been.
say,
Well, you can hear me now, though.
yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, this is interesting because I don't know how old you are, James, but I know you're older than me. So James says last week was the first time he ever drove in snow, went to find or visit a friend in Yosemite Valley.
Mm.
The elevation of driven about 3,700 feet. Cool. So how did you like that? Was that fun? I like driving in the snow.
You know what I used to do when I was in a place that had snow? I would go in a parking lot where the business was closed, and then whenever I got a different car, and then I would test the brakes and see how the car would react in the snow instead of waiting until it's too late.
Yeah. Joe's in the house. Joe says that Phil Am food, Philippine American food. I don't know.
Nah.
Now,
I like it, but it's not the top. It's not top 5.
Yeah, aside from the fish, I don't mess with the noodles and especially the
Lorelai,
noodles that look like see, they got some noodles that look like they're from a jellyfish or something.
yeah,
Real
like
clear.
the green bean noodles. I love those.
I don't know what they are, but they glow, whatever they are.
Lorelai had stinky
Yeah.
fish Sunday, so the house stank.
Stinky foot. She had
Yeah,
stink foot.
stinky fish.
You don't have a spot for her out in the garage to cook that stuff or out in the back?
No,
My wife cooked it once in our house in America, and that was it. There was no more of that.
we have an exhaust system that goes straight out, a powerful exhaust system.
Dave, you got a snowblower there?
No, man.
All I got is a driveway too, but it sure saves my back from that crap.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you shovel. There's no way.
I'm not going to shovel snow. Are you freaking crazy?
Of course not. Of course not.
In Arkansas, the snow goes away in 2 days.
That's what I thought.
So why shovel it? Just wait a day or two and it'll go away.
Mm.
So because it warms back up. I mean, it just
Okay. All right.
Oh, how are you? Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody.
Where's Joe? Hello, Joe.
Hello there, Yank. Yeah, your audio is cutting in and out, brother.
Yeah, it's choppy.
It is.
Yeah.
Let me get that shit, man. I think I messed up this. That's it. That's in my computer. I got a different headset. Is it still that way?
No, it's better now. Maybe it's if you're moving around or something, the cables.
Well, I haven't made this to my laptop, so I got the plug in here, and I have a bad habit. I don't know why, but I'll put my arm down right over the cord and kind of mess it up.
That's probably
So-
what it is. So yeah,
It
Joe, how
should
are
be
you?
okay. It should.
Joe, you getting too? You getting the snow yet?
Well, if we are, it's not sticking.
Not sticking yet.
We got enough just to be a pain in the ass. It's gonna be fine snow because it'll be below freezing when it comes. So
Ours is gigantic snow. I mean, you could
it's
catch it with a
easier
baseball.
to I could actually take the shovel out, or actually, better yet, the leaf blower. That'll work even better.
So I'm making a list. Where did my notepad go?
It's the vacuum for the outside.
We're gonna make. I'm gonna make a list, and we're gonna talk about the best food in the world. So right now, Greg says either Thai food or Chinese food, or are you just saying that it's better than Hanoi food? Bill, if you pick that one place, which one is it going to be? Joe, we're looking at a food
Uh-oh.
that has every nation in it. Where are you going to go? What food are you going to go after? That's my
Right
question.
now, well, it's whatever I'm in the mood for.
No,
Yeah, that wasn't the answer the hostess was looking for.
it's not the way this game
Doesn't
works.
fit the narrative, man.
Bill, did you figure
Well-
out where you would go to?
Well, my go-to would be probably Italian food. You know, I want to
Okay.
get
Go,
full.
there you go. I'm Italian. I love Italian food. I'd rather eat mild to hot Mexican spices than not instead of Chinese, Asian. I don't have the taste buds for that stuff. I don't enjoy it. It'd be like a baby eating that green pea shit, the goobers or whatever the hell it was. Goobers, yeah, goobers.
Craig, is that what you think is your choice? Would be Vietnamese food? What about you, James? You have
Hey,
because I know where I would go without question. I know exactly.
hey,
I'm not going to tell you. I know exactly where I would go without a question in doubt.
you know what's the funniest thing I had seen on YouTube when what's his name? Enrique had he did a video and he was in Vietnam. He just got out.
Yank, you're choppy again.
Choppy.
Joe, did you come up with a better answer than you had?
No,
Come on now.
I don't know who this is that's trying to call me, but I'm gonna have to because they're
All right.
calling on my other line, and I don't know who it is, so they're gonna be a spam
Should be better. No?
Yeah, you're better now.
spam call.
Vietnamese food is sort of like Chinese. Vietnamese food is sort of like Chinese food. Do we agree with that? I think Vietnamese is a little bit more like Thai food.
You're right. Splitting hairs there, man. They're right across the border from each other.
No, I really like Thai food, but I would say my number 2 go-to has got to be Tex-Mex.
Oh yeah. I agree with that one.
Mexican food is
Absolutely.
good, but that Tex-Mex it makes it even better. It gives that American
Yeah.
Well,
kick.
but
kick to it. Let's go.
the popular Mexican food now that we like here was actually invented and created in Texas, not in Mexico.
Right. That's why I was saying Tex-Mex.
Yep.
That's the stuff.
Yeah, I love that, man. Oh my God. I went to a Mexican restaurant once and the lady said, "Watch out, the plates are hot." I thought, "No, what do you mean hot? Like warm?" I go and touch it. I'm like, "Damn, man."
Tim's in the house. Everybody say hi to Tim. How are you,
Hey,
Tim?
hey, hello.
Hey, we're bitching about the foot of snow we're gonna get. That's one thing we're doing. But the bigger thing, the real thing we're doing is talking about food tonight. And the question is, we're looking for
No, you were.
what? So what we're looking for is your favorite food in the world. If you could eat any country, if you walked into a mall,
Pizza.
a
Pizza.
rotunda, and there's every
Italian.
representative, where would you go? What restaurant would you go to eat? That's
Italian restaurant that sells pasties.
Italian restaurants that sell Mexican food.
No, I said I would do that second. Italian number one for me.
you know, You know, but I like Mexican, dude. I'm a big fan of Mexican.
Got to test you, man. You've been slacking for the last, what, 8 years?
Me?
How long you been retired?
8 years?
8 years. Hey, matter of fact, my wedding anniversary was yesterday, and I accidentally found that out because it brought back Facebook brings back
Yeah.
memories and all that shit, and I'm like, hey, I didn't even know that was my birthday. I didn't even know.
Yeah. Everybody say hi to Tim. Make sure everybody says hi to Tim tonight.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. But
And
Oh,
my
Good
wedding
morning out there, Tim.
is in a couple days, so I got to remember it.
you better remember it.
Yeah.
My wife.
Well, see, she's
had
in the Philippines, so it's a day ahead. I was all right, so I got to remember to say on the 27th is our anniversary, but
Yeah.
I need to
Got
tell them.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Ours is on the 19th of September.
December.
September.
Oh, yeah, that already happened. I should have remembered because it's a day after my ex-wife's, second wife's birthday.
Tim says he doesn't know if he has a favorite food. Wow. Just imagine the scenario. You go into a building and every country is there. Would you go to the Greek? Would you go to the Italian country? Would you go to an Asian country, Japanese,
Brother.
Chinese? Would you go to Mexico? Would you go to Brazil?
Mexico.
Mexico. Would you come over to the American restaurant? What would you do? Now you got to keep in mind, it's not like it's a food that you've been missing all your life. You haven't had Tex-Mex because you've been in the Philippines for 10 years. So don't think of it like that. Think of it like, wow.
I'll take it. You could eat anything.
Yeah, I like to eat.
That's what we all like to eat. That's the problem.
Yeah.
On my plate.
Well,
Joe, go ahead.
even though I've got enough of these restaurants here, if I had my way about it, it'd be Subway.
Yeah.
More healthier.
You know what? I am going to go get a meatball sub since they don't have all the shit in their meat. I'm going to see how it is.
Tim says that he would want to try everything now.
I'm curious to try it.
And Tim, that's kind of where this comes from. I was at a party the other night, a Filipino party, and of course they were bragging about how great their food is. And I'm smart enough not to correct
Well,
them.
it's their food, man.
Get stabbed in the head with a fork. So, I talked to a couple of guys that were not Filipino about the subjects where this comes up.
Hey, David, I got a good idea for you. Why don't you go over to East LA and in a Mexican neighborhood and ask if anybody wants to go to Taco Bell and see what kind of response you get.
Well, I have Hispanic friends that live here.
You get that constipated look like what?
Yeah, no, I have Hispanic friends that live here and have eaten real authentic, Mexican food, many times.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Good stuff.
it is good stuff, But that's one thing that we've done, Lorelai and I, in our travels. We've tried very hard to try all kinds of food.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah. But I don't know about ordering. If a dish has a lot of a big portion, and then you don't like it, then it's kind of a waste of money.
No,
So
but that's why you share. Lorelai and I.
As long as you don't double dip,
Hey, Dave, I don't know if you've been here at Battlefield Mall, but they've got one of the UK restaurants.
Ah, really?
They got a restaurant from the UK.
I wonder if they serve fish and chips.
You know what, man?
Yeah, that is a plate.
I told a friend of mine there was a popular Mexican restaurant by name, and the cooks were Greek, and I said to myself, I said to him, if I go to a Mexican restaurant to eat food made by Spanish people because they have a better feel for it. than a Polish guy would. It's just you know, if I want Greek, I'll go to a Greek place. There's a difference.
There is. Craig says that quality ingredients is and well cooked is the style, which is quality ingredients is the key. I like what Tim is asking here, guys.
Oh yeah,
Look at this. We're all Americans. So what American fast food
yummy.
restaurant would you, like Arby's, McDonald's, Burger King, would you choose? What's your go-to fast food? I know what mine is. What are your guys' fast food one? That's a good question, Tim.
Fast food.
Yeah, like Arby's.
James, hello.
Oh, I love Arby's roast beef, man. I love that stuff with the barbecue sauce or Arby's sauce or whatever they call it.
So you like Arby's? Is that what you're choosing?
Oh yeah, number one there. Plus you're getting a leaner cut of beef there, so it's kind of healthy for you.
Bill, what would you choose?
But it's hard for me to say exactly. But I mean, if I was back in Indiana and I'm hungry and I'm ready to grub down, I'm gonna go get me some White Castles because that's how you do it.
I never saw the big deal with those things. I've had them, but
Little sliders.
Man,
Joe, what do you think? What's your
bomb.
choice?
it reminded me of
Probably
dog
Brahms.
food.
Brahms? Okay.
what do you say?
Brahms.
I'm not familiar with that.
Brahms is a hamburger joint that also has a big ice cream, a parlor inside of it, and they have a little grocery store too. They have excellent food. They really do. Mine would be Jimmy John's sub sandwiches.
Those are good.
Jimmy John. Their bread is to die for. I'm good with Jimmy John's. I like food.
Okay.
I like this. Let
Well-
me get here and see what's going on here. Spanish
Hey,
food
Bill,
is different than Mexican food. I agree with that. Go ahead, Joe.
whenever Bill gets back into the upper 48, whenever that will be, no telling when. But you'll have to stop by Southwest Missouri, Northwest Missouri, right here in the corner of the state, because that's mainly where Brahms is. It's down in this area.
Yeah, we have Brahms all over this Arkansas, Missouri.
Yeah.
It's a big chain. It's a pretty big chain. So when Tim is saying that Spanish food is much different than Mexican food, absolutely. And Spanish food is better. I'll tell you one thing when we were in the Philippines that I actually grew to really like and appreciate wasn't Filipino. Well, there's some Filipino dishes I really like. It was with my buddy, my good friend next door, who's from Pakistan. Pakistani food, Indian food. There's some really good food there.
Oh yeah, I can tear that stuff up too. As long as curry is a love-hate relationship with me. I really love curry, but it really hates me back. And I got to be careful how much curry I put into my system at one time.
Oh yeah, Greg says that I don't know how you're pronouncing this, Kami. Japanese buffet chain in Australia is his go-to. That's good. Yeah. White Castle. Tim says he's never had White Castle. I've had White Castle. So I know what you're talking about, Bill.
Yeah. As a youth, we'd go out and do things and boy, White Castles hit the spot. There's a spot that you got, and White Castles can hit it like that.
Let's see what James, let me see if I can understand what James is saying. He's talking to you, Bill. I've seen this on Quota. Why is Filipino food considered so much worse? Oh my God. Than the rest of Asia.
It is considered not to be one of the better ones. And, you don't tell Filipinos that, number one. I can't go to a Filipino party and be like, this stuff is this dog meat? Well, what is it? You get killed. But, I can think of of course, I visited other Asian countries, but I've never lived in those. So I'm very used to eating the Filipino food, but, I'd rather have Thai, Japanese. I'd probably rather have one of those two. Chinese is good, but I like Thai. I like Vietnamese. But yeah, I would put Filipino food kind of low on that list.
Craig, I mean James, my vote or my answer to that would be my honest opinion about Filipino food. Why it's bad? The ones that are bad. There's two ingredients that they overuse. One is vinegar, and two is soy sauce. It's overused in their food. The foods for me, like mung bean and coconut stew, man, that's great stuff. Yeah. Sorry, did you say something? Oh no!
Oh, is that nag again, man?
Yeah, oh, don't do that.
God.
Oh, don't call her that.
Yeah, that's my
Well, I'm just repeating what David told me the other day.
No, I've never said she's an ag. That's not.
Oh, I don't know about that.
James, and so what Craig says, in response to James's.
Yeah, they get their beef from Australia, I think. Philippines does.
Well, beef is hard to come by in the Philippines.
Yeah, it's not.
They don't have the grazing.
But the chickens are great. The chickens are good.
Yeah, they're just small. It'll take a couple of them to feed you.
But that's okay. That means they're a real chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, a chicken ain't going to be 7 freaking pounds.
Right.
Real.
Look like a turkey.
James is saying from Google, why is Filipino not popular? The country lacks the marketing business acumen required to make old dishes call for evidence. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever seen the TV show Top Chef, but there was a Filipino chef that actually won that one year. So, and he's pretty famous here in America now as a Filipino chef. So, a lack of quality beef hurts the food. Also, overcooking. Let me just set the record straight. My wife is the whole best Filipino cook in the whole entire world.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So she feeds me, so I got to be nice.
Right. I tell my wife all the time, that I love all of them. She's not my wife is not a cook. She didn't really cook before, we got married and stuff. But I'll eat whatever she cooks, if I don't like it, I'll cook myself, so.
Yeah.
And most of the time I like her cooking, so I'll eat whatever she makes. So I'm good.
Yeah. That's all right. That's good.
Yeah.
It's the correct answer.
Hey, but I want to tell you, as far as best food in the world, though,
yes.
My go-to answer when people ask me that in the Philippines, my go-to answer is always, I don't care what we eat. If we go to a party and something and they got the food and they got the, all the stuff going on, that's my favorite food, that right there, when I don't have to be buying it all, I'm not the one paying for the party. Oh, I love the food. It's all delicious. It's wonderful. So the free
It's
food,
the fun of going somewhere, right?
Free food at the parties is my favorite.
I mean, the food they made at the party was really good. They had a lot of traditional Filipino dishes, and I think the lady of the home is a very good cook.
Right.
So it was James
traditional. Traditional foods with a huge salt shaker next to it.
Yeah. Craig's wondering about how crazy we're in America. 24th day of July. We're all
I don't know what's going on with that there.
Jim says Filipino food is overwhelming rice and soy sauce. That's my point. And but I don't know. I agree with you, Bill, about look, if somebody else cooked it and took care of it, I will be very appreciative of it.
That's it. Makes it taste better, I think. Like, oh man, this tastes delicious.
You put your heart into it. There's something to be said for that,
Yeah. James says, Craig, all I can say
Yeah,
is there's a lot of stress in America. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, even with me going blind, I'll do my own cooking if I didn't like somebody else's cooking.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm down for me go-to stuff like around the house is sandwiches.
Yep.
I'm a cold cut kind of guy. I'll grab out the bologna and the whatever, some ham, some turkey slice.
Yeah.
That's me. Rather than cook up a bunch of stuff, I'm just gonna throw me a sandwich together. And
You know what I like, and I think with the hot ham on Sundays. Oh, hot ham and rolls, man.
Yeah.
Hot ham tastes better on Sundays for some reason. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I'm a sandwich guy too. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
So,
I like cheese sandwiches. I like roast. I don't care. I like sandwiches too. Tuna fish sandwiches and egg salad sandwiches are some of my favorite. I like sandwiches.
We eat those a lot in the Philippines. That's a go-to dinner probably twice a week, either tuna fish sandwiches or egg sandwiches.
One thing with
Yeah.
out there,
Go ahead, Joe.
out there in the Philippines, it's all brand new, not uncanned tuna.
yeah.
Well, we
Very
use
fresh tuna.
We use canned tuna most of the time.
For salad too.
Yeah, for most things. I mean, if we got a fresh tuna, we're cooking it differently.
That's right. Either in the soup or on a grill. You want to do the fresh tuna.
Right.
I love canned tuna fish. I don't know why.
We eat the canned tuna all the time.
Chicken of the sea, man. Old Charlie.
James says, Tim, the beef in the Philippines is definitely different. If you can see a cow, oh my God, Tim loves homemade chili. Me too. I make good homemade chili. And,
You do? Well,
woohoo! I love
fly
it.
me down there and I'll have some.
Well, I did back in November when I had a card game. I made a big batch of chili and told you could
Well,
come.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
Well, I know, but I invited you. I invited everybody to come.
Yeah, like what, 24 hours before the thing?
Well,
Sorry, you couldn't make it.
I like
Kidding.
having a big batch of chili, and then that's like a 3-day eat. I can eat it over and over and over, keep warming it up. That's a go-to right there.
yeah, chili's one of the best things. You can make it with corn and change it up a little bit. You can do, I don't like chicken chili, but you can do more Mexican chili. Chili's good.
Well, they had a Chinese restaurant down in Kenosha, Wisconsin there, and they got busted because it wasn't chicken, it was cat.
Tim says, haven't seen a carbonara pass off as big. Oh, yeah, that water.
The wild animal population was next to nothing down there.
I'll tell you a funny story about a cow. God loves idiots like us. We were on a cruise. I think we were in the DR, and we took a riverboat.
I've been there.
And as part of our adventure, went to where Michael Jackson got married and stuff like that. So, but we're on this party boat, and the highlight of the day was a freaking cow that apparently comes down from the hill, walks to the river and drinks and goes back up. So I crap you not, the tour guide, this was what we booked this freaking boat ride for, was going to see this damn cow.
Well, run into the, it's supposed to wow you because you're on a boat.
Right.
James says he's big on people. Yeah.
Now, you know what I'd like to have seen? I'd like to have seen that cow in the boat.
Well, but what they did was, I give them credit for this. What they did do was get everybody drunk on free rum. So, and then they tried to sell you bottles of their rum, but they would just pass it out freely. And then they had a couple of hoochie mamas doing the butt dancing on the boat with loud
lap dance? You got lap dances?
No, the butt dance.
Damn.
I don't know what you call that.
I don't think my wife would go for that.
What is that butt dance called?
Lap dance.
Twerking?
Twerking.
Twerking?
Yeah, TW twerk.
So,
No, she knows.
but you can come say hi if you want. But I swear to
Let's,
God, the highlight of the trip was a damn cow.
I am good on pizza too.
No, pizza now. Pizza's a different story.
I like
Like,
pizza.
oh my God, good pizza. Oh, Jesus Christ. I love good pizza. Oh
Yeah.
my
Well,
God.
yeah, what I did when I came home was I was getting it twice a week for the first month I came back,
Yeah, I did too.
which turned out not to be good because I didn't know my blood pressure was so out of whack at the time.
When
So
we got back, I ate a lot of pizza and a lot of sandwiches.
a lot of aggression.
So, yeah, see, if the cow would have been on the boat or something, that'd be,
Yeah, operating the boat even better.
yeah, but I mean,
Like the purple cow from Boost.
I mean, it was just surreal. I just
Could you imagine go on a boat and you see this cow there and you're a bunch of stoners?
Mm.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
I know
god!
beef is hard to come. I don't like beef. I'm not a big beef eater.
Mm.
I don't mind
I
like
like
hamburgers for hot ground beef, but I don't like to eat beef.
I eat a beef. I might bite a cow if it looks good enough. Bite it
Ugh.
right out in the field.
Oh my god! Hey, let's ask this question about pizza. Let's talk because now I'm hungry for pizza. Let's talk pizza for a second.
Yeah.
Are we talking about thin crust, deep dish,
Oh no!
traditional? Are you talking about a supreme pizza or
Pizzeria pizza. Otherwise, forget everything else is trash.
you know? Joe, what do you think for pizza? What's your go-to pizza? Are you there, Joe? Okay, Bill, what's your go-to for a pizza? What type of pizza would you order?
You know, if I'm in the right place, I like to get a Chicago style pie.
Yeah.
You know, the double with the meats and big thick. It's like you're really eating something when you eat one of those slices. And you know, if I'm getting pizza somewhere and they got that, I know they're going to do it right. That's what I'm ordering. And I did have one place in the Philippines that could make a Chicago style pie that was halfway decent, and you know, I give them props on that.
So here's my question: what is the issue in the Philippines with tomato paste? You go to McDonald's and you don't get ketchup and mustard on the hamburger. You get that concoction that Jollibee uses, and I noticed that they something very vinegarish they put on. Some will scrape the shit off when they some will leave it on. It's just
What?
I've been there before where at Shakey's. I've been to the chain places like Greenwich, and they were like here, and then that was 2013. They're
Right.
not like that anymore.
No, they're using that banana paste stuff now,
That's shit.
and
That's
yeah,
shit.
it's not good.
Yeah.
Oh man, then they say, come on, man, I'm Italian, eat pizza, shit. When I was at the whole quarantine hotel, and the guy he had this shortbread pizza, it looked pretty good, so I said, I'll get two of them. The guy came upstairs, and opened the door. I get him, and he says, "Don't forget your hot sauce." I thought, freaking hot sauce for what? I
Everybody
don't put,
say hi to our visitor. Welcome.
hello.
Welcome
It looks like Barbie.
Yeah.
Barbie, let's go party.
Welcome, Craig. He's dropped his link. If anybody else wants to drop your link, just let me know. If you don't have one of those stupid blue jackets, let me know. But you can drop your link if you want. I don't care. Doesn't bother me any. Tim says he flew into a small airport and had to wait for the cow to get off of the runway. There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
He
Took
says
its time too.
the wild buffalo milk in the Philippines. I haven't either. I wouldn't know.
I haven't tried it, but I would try it. But every time I went to go buy some, then the person wasn't there, and I was going to try it for a video. but
Yeah,
you know, I'll try anything one time unless it
me
gives
too.
me scraps. You know.
My go-to pizza is actually a thin crust. I love thin crust pizza. You know, a supreme is fine
Congrats.
without any onions. You know, I like spinach and Gouda on a pizza. You know, I mean, I like thin crust. And I'm
Yeah.
actually going to become a pizza master this year. There's two goals I have food wise this year. We're going to make a full lechon, a full pig. I'm going to roast those, and I'm working on that. And I'm working on becoming a pizza master.
Uh, good luck.
Thank you. I will.
Are,
Gotta have,
are you getting a oven deal for your pizza, or are you just cooking
well,
it in?
I have a really nice grill setup, and if I get a good pizza stone, I can just do it in this grill that I already have
Sure, sure.
versus needing a pizza oven. The
Right.
pizza ovens are nice and they're cool looking, so I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, I haven't quite figured that part out yet.
Yeah.
If when I start making these pizzas, if I don't like how they're working in my oven situation, I'll get a pizza oven. I'll get,
Garlic. Slicely thin garlic and let it melt into the sauce. 8 hours of simmering.
all right. Yank dropped his. Everybody saying hi to everybody, which is good. But that's my go-to pizza, man. I like a good crust.
Sure.
Because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on it, so I'm going to become a pizza master.
Oh boy. I can
Sounds
hardly
good.
wait for that one.
But hey, I'm going to make whole pigs. I'm telling you,
Oh Lord.
I am.
Why?
I
It's
make.
the pizza, not the pig, man.
Hey, sell them to your Filipino friends.
Yeah, here you go.
No, that's it. That's going to be a little side hustle I start.
There you go.
I already make pork belly lechon and I sell those. So now I'm
Right.
just going to invest in a setup to where I can roast a whole hog and do it just like they do. And you know, I studied in Cebu.
At Danny's restaurant. Yeah, the whole idea behind having these franchises all over, like McDonald's, like comfort food, so you can eat what you eat when you're at home. But there's an exception to that rule in the Philippines. I don't know what it is. Maybe tomato paste has a huge tariff or something. You know,
Well,
it
it's
must.
just you can't. Their tomatoes over there is rough. You know.
I mean,
And,
they don't ship. They don't ship in the tomato. They can ship. They ship everything else. You know.
not always. I mean, it's you know, they try to use what they got. You know what they
If
can get hold of is cheaper. You know, and
if you're
bananas
if
are everywhere.
someone is not going to do that dish correctly, they shouldn't do it at all.
Yeah,
But to them, that is correct.
it is correct, right?
Right. That's the problem. To them, it is
They like
correct.
it.
Well, I want when a guy asked me, "Don't forget the hot sauce," I wanted it in my mind. I was saying, "What the f do you?"
I did the same. But you know, it is the way they do it. I mean, our family was very excited. They brought a bunch of pizzas over, you know, to have pizza, and I'm just like,
There is a my grandmother's my dad said it comes from northern Italy, and they make they at a local grocery store here you can get the northern pasty, the authentic recipe. And there's a black guy here in Milwaukee on the north side of town, and he makes them exactly like my grandmother did, only obviously smaller portions, nothing like she had.
Tim says they're supposed to be opening up a Denny's, which is nasty in America.
Yeah, Lord,
S. Clark,
big
but
big
yeah,
tomatoes are the size of a golf ball.
golf balls. That's right.
That's about as big as you're gonna find
But
over
they're
there.
cherry tomatoes, huh?
Not, and they're not tasty at all. I mean, they're okay. That's a tomato, but
Wrong soil for that, I guess. I don't know.
it's wrong.
Good soil. But you gotta have good tomatoes. So,
Oh, absolutely.
but yeah, I love pizza, man. Pizza. Woohoo!
Yeah, if it would, it don't agree too much with me. So when I go back, I'm not gonna miss that because health wise, it's perfect for me because I can't get what I
Ah,
over there what I can get here. So therefore, I'm not gonna eat it. So that there's a plus side to that.
You only live once. You only live once.
Oh man, but I got a little guy, man. I can't be throwing
Yeah.
caution to the wind all the time.
I'll tell you my go-to food, because I think, and I
Twinkies.
think my go-to food is the prettiest, the cleanest, the best tasting in the world, and that's Japanese food.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
So if I had
Need some fish seam in there with what do you call it?
Now,
sushi,
do you like it straight from Japan? Have you been to Japan?
no, I have not.
Okay.
I've just eaten at a whole bunch of different, what's supposed to be really high-end Japanese restaurants. No, and
Yeah, I've been to Japan. And I've had their food over there, and it's very good. Like I said, it's way better than Philippine food. Anybody in here?
it's very clean looking. You
But
know what I mean?
here's my question: Can you buy spicy brown mustard over there? Because I found the saving grace for me with fish. Some fish like tilapia is like a wet rag, but I found out that horseradish, all mustard, is good for your heart. So
I think you can at the S&R. You might check into that. But I think you can.
I think I saw it at Landry's in Cebu. I think it was called Landry's there in Cebu, because they had a bunch of American stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a Sam's Club.
Yeah.
okay.
The S&R is like that as well. It's like the Sam's Club, Costco's.
Okay.
So Tim says the thing that he misses is the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah,
They are good.
they are good. But they so high in price. I used to buy so many of those. You know, I would support so many little girls. Tell my wife I'm doing these.
Nowadays, you might get a little girl with a beer.
James is asking me, since I like Jimmy John's, if I ever tried Jersey Mike's. I have, and I hate Jersey Mike's. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I know
Jersey
you can
Mike's,
get
you don't like that?
No, I hate it. I know you can get it without the oil and vinegar splashy crap on it,
Yeah.
but I don't.
You know what I like is up here when they used to have suburbios, and now they got one guy called Gold Coast.
Yeah,
Those things had a little bit of pepperish. What did they put on them things? It tasted good, man. I found myself having to request that they have it on there because some guys just wouldn't put it on there like others. But that little bit of pepper and that oil, like salad dressing type stuff they squirt on there, that stuff is excellent.
I hate that. So what I do is Jimmy John's is number one,
Well,
and then you got Subway, and then you got Firehouse, and then you got Jimmy John's way down at the bottom. So because I don't even like.
You know what? I saw a Cousins commercial once, and they had to take it off the air because in the description, the guy says piled high. They ain't piled nothing high. Cousins never have. So that was that was BS, man.
Yeah, years ago, I don't know if you guys remember, I actually sent an email to Subway. It wasn't Subway. It was a sub shop that's no longer in business. But they like Blimpies. I don't know if you guys remember Blimpies.
I've heard of that. Yeah,
They had ads with hamsters making. It was gross. It's like I wrote them an email saying you have rodents preparing food. I'm not eating your damn food.
You should tell Subway way back when you should have said, look, I'm better than Jared because I don't like women on the side, just my wife. They might have hired you instead.
Those kids. I'm from. I knew Jared, so.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm from India.
You're part of the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him out many times, and
that friend of his that had access to all these girls and stuff was the guy, the one that probably got him into it.
I think he was into it before that. He was a
Well, look at the guy though. I mean, he grew up
he
at a
was a
time in his life where he didn't get those pretty
baseball.
girls like everybody else did. So I
So
don't
you had
know.
to go with little children. A pedophile is a pedophile. I don't think you become one at 30. I think it's rooted in you at a
Uh,
age.
well, I think his mind though, like I said, he grew up and not getting a decent looking
No,
chicks like all the other guys.
I disagree. I don't think him being a fat guy had anything to do
I ain't
with
saying it's a soak. It's just a contributing part.
No.
Part.
He was always in the he was like a basement dweller. He was that guy. He
Yeah.
was always on the computer, always scheming on something, and that's what turned him. He was always chatting with see who else he could chat with, talk to backstage.
But he got caught up with like 4 or 5 other guys, right? At the same time, wasn't there
Yeah,
a group of them that got
It
busted?
was like that Jerry Epstein kind of thing, only on a small scale.
Yeah.
right.
Well, I guess he's doing life, right? Life in prison.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's luck.
No, he's not there for life. I think 15
Well,
years or something.
I think I'll Google it. Tim says the only thing is I ate a box of Thin Mints. Going to sue for false advertising. I didn't lose any weight
They were
because
they didn't have to get thin, huh? I
what's
like
that?
all their cookies. Those peanut butter cookies, man. Lee.
Hmm.
Those like those or I don't
I
know.
like the sugar cookies, man. Christmas.
It's been a while
Peanut
that
butter too.
since I had them. So.
I'm gonna see.
Did Jared ever put a finger on any one of my kids, man? It would be the last thing that guy ever did. But
Yeah.
I ain't kidding.
Well,
I'd have my justice.
just like other type people,
Hmm.
my kid is hanging out with somebody famous. You know what I'm saying? And people will let their kid go hang out with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or
It says that the court made him pay $1.4 million to restitution of 14 different victims.
right.
He was only sentenced to 15 years and 8 months. You're right.
Yeah.
Only 15 years. And this was back in 2015. So he's
How
probably
much
out
time
on
did he get? How many years?
15.
Okay, so he served how much now? 7? 8?
Yeah.
Well, you got to be up for parole pretty soon then.
Yeah, soon.
It's not a RICO thing like with the mob, so I don't think he has to do the whole 15. But what's he going to do? He's scarred for life, man. Who cares
He'll
what he
go back.
does? That's his issue.
Yeah.
He's gonna open up a sub restaurant.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Franchise
lock up your daughters, it's called, or something.
It's gonna be something that like it your way. You can have it all your way,
Hmm.
no matter what
Yeah,
they say.
discounts for kiddies. Maybe that's what the
Kids,
name could be. Discounts for kiddies.
kids eat free.
I'd club that guy, give him the money back from that settlement, and club him over the head like a baby seal.
That's crazy, man. But the interesting thing about Subway, I read a thing about 2 years ago where they shut down hundreds of their stores, and now I don't know, Bill, if you know this because where you're at, but they revamped their menu. So now they have pre-made sandwiches, like 1 through
really?
10, and there are designer sandwiches that they've come up with, and they have a whole bunch of football stars and basketball stars.
I have seen that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've ate at Subway a few times since I've been here in Hawaii, and it's but I usually get the same thing. I right now I want the cold cut combo. I want to put cold cut on we. Come on.
Have you tried the meatball soap?
Oh yeah, back I used to eat that all the
So,
time.
what do you think of theirs?
It's
Subway's.
pretty good. It's just small.
Yeah.
Oh,
The meatballs are more like meat peas.
Miniature testicle balls, or
It's small.
yeah. I like the. I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I actually like the veggie patties. And some of them, they are fantastic.
Uh,
And I like the tunas. I like, but I make my own.
Finger food, yeah. Jeff Dahmer's from, well, he ain't from up here, but this is where he did his thing. With, as a matter of fact, they played in an industrial softball league, and he played for Ambrosia Chocolate. That's where he used to work. That factory sits where the Bradley Center was for the Bucks.
Yeah, Tim, I don't think it was finger food. I think it was wieners. Was his favorite.
Chianti, yeah, a little red wine with the.
Yeah.
Frankenweenie.
So I think that was his favorite snack. But
Him and another guy got off. Him and this other guy, Jesse Anderson. I think he killed his wife, and I think somebody hired him or put him up to it. But this, they were on this whatever duty they were on, sweeping or mopping, and they both got killed. So even the people that were against capital punishment didn't say anything when that happened.
yeah, there's a bunch of TV documentaries out about Jeffrey Dahmer right now.
Well,
New one
he
out.
he got his melon squashed like Mussolini, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that movie that came out. That was enough being, seeing this shit on TV. I didn't need the extra behind. I have no desire to watch anything like that. If it's fake, it's fake. Like Saw or something. But not that. I'm not gonna have it help make these people make money off of somebody else's misery like that.
Thinking of wieners,
There you go.
one
You're
of
not going to get up and drop your pants now, are you?
well, maybe, but I don't want to show you guys up. And make
Okay, thank God.
But one of my favorite American foods is a hot dog. I absolutely love a good hot dog on a good bun, a good hot dog with relish and mustard.
They said for us guys with high blood pressure, those Hebrew Nationals are pretty good. I've never had one, but
They are good. I've had them.
any flavors that remind you of some other kind of meat?
No, I mean, they taste like a hot dog.
I'm tempted to find one, but I'm kind of paranoid about stuff now with the blood pressure. So I got eggs and I got fish. That's all I got. And some nuts, raw almonds, no salt.
Well, the key is just not to eat 12 hot dogs. I make one or two, and then I'm kind of done for a few months. And then I'll have one or two, But I love
Ketchup ain't good for you. I used to love mustard on my Italians, man. But
I love going to the ballpark and eating a hot dog.
I had ballpark. Well, that's always something about it. Doesn't it taste different when you're at this baseball park with a hot dog that you've overpaid for?
I had to cook, when my wife was working there at FedEx when we lived in the States, or not FedEx, but Amazon. I worked with them. But anyways, she would work, and on her long days, I would do all the cooking. So one of the meals that I would always cook for us, the kids and I, and her if she wanted it, but I always fix like hot dogs, chili dogs.
We love chili dogs, man.
That's a dad's go-to. Hey kids, you guys ready for some chili dogs? Let's go.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, I can feel my arteries hardening with those, but they're fantastic, though.
You gotta love chili dogs, man. Tim says, I can't pronounce that. Shallums, hot dogs from Western New York. Don't need any condiments.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Man, I'm telling you, but you're right. A chili dog, and did you toast the buns? I toast my buns with a little, and
sounds kind of personal.
Man, I like them. So it is. But a good hot dog, you can't beat chili. And a good homemade meatball sub sandwich. I made those before and had guys over and played cards and
right. These we have a Costco over here, so and their food is kind of cheap. So when you go to Costco, you pick up some lunch or whatever. Their pizzas are kind of cheap, and their hot dogs are cheap. Chicken is cheap. But those hot dogs there taste pretty good. You know, they're like $1.50 or something, and they for $1.50 here in Hawaii, man, that's good eating right there.
Yeah. Same thing at Sam's Clubs. You
Yeah.
know, they're the competitor Costco, Sam's Clubs.
Right. Yeah.
Same way. They're good
Yeah.
too. They are. And grabbing a slice of pizza at those places is cheap too.
Right.
You know, and I like doing that.
Yeah. I got to take the napkin and get some of that grease off of it, the pizza. But other than that, it's good.
Yeah. So much grease, on some of the pizzas.
Yeah.
You kind of got to turn it upside down and just let it drain.
Let it drip for a while.
I agree with you there, but I'll tell you, some of the best pizza that we've ever had, and might blow your mind, is on the cruise ships.
No,
Yeah.
get out of town with that.
Which cruise line do you normally use?
Carnival. We've done Carnival.
Hey, I ate some pizza at a place on Elvis Presley Boulevard I think it was called Execs or something. The black dude made the best pizza I ever had in my life. Pizzeria pizza.
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, but they make it fresh. They're doing the dough and everything on the cruise ship. It's like a little real pizzeria.
Right.
And they're open 24/7. You can grab some pizza anytime you want and just sit down on the back of the boat, because that's usually where they're at. The pizza joint on the back of the boat, and have a good slice of pizza any way you want it. So, yeah.
I've only been on one cruise, and it was with Royal Caribbean, and it was before my wife. It was my ex, so I got to take my wife on one of these days. So.
How did you like Royal Caribbean?
I enjoyed the cruise. It was nice. It was our first one that we ever went on. I had two kids at the time, and they had a good time. And we went to 3-4 ports. It was a great family vacation. We used to go down to Orlando, Disney World, like once a year. Kind of had a timeshare down there, but we decided to go on a cruise, and man, that's the thing to do. If you're in the States, you go around to many different places. Some of the things I did back then, I would not do again. Like swim with the dolphins.
Yeah, I won't go see the cow again.
Yeah, no more cow trips. Huh? We went to Puerto Rico too.
Jet skiing or something. Maybe he's water skiing a cow.
We rented jet skis at one of the ports too, and I'll never do that again. Them jet skis have been worn out.
Yes.
Like you riding on junk.
Yeah, we love cruises. We plan on going.
But for me, I'd rather spend my time to get to a beach and water. I don't know.
When you go on a cruise, you're by the beach all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're on the ship. You get a couple hours like you're getting paroled.
No, it doesn't work quite that way. What happens is, because I love cruises, we're looking at maybe either going to Europe and doing like Spain, one of those, or also maybe going to the Canary Islands or something. We've got a couple different areas that we're looking at. But usually what happens is you get a good day in the Bahamas or in Aruba. We went to Aruba the last time.
I'd like to go to Bahamas.
Aruba's freaking awesome. I'm talking about it is. If you ever get a chance to go to Aruba to hang out,
that's not a French colony island, is it?
No, it's a Dutch.
Okay.
It's super clean, organized. Well, we had a blast. Lorelei snorkel. We hung out on the beach for the day, and it was one of the most beautiful places we've ever been.
So
is Aruba.
Yeah.
Without question.
Buy me a ticket. I'll go with you.
Yeah, I'll do that when I hit the lottery.
There you go.
But we went and swam with the dolphins too. So you swam with the dolphins?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again, but I did the research. When you're picking things to do when you're on your cruise, you think, that sounds good. But then I do the research about, some of the things that they do with these dolphins and how they're mistreated and stuff. I'm like, oh man, it's like that's bad.
Yeah, we did the dolphin thing. We've done a bunch of bus tours. We went and saw how cocoa is processed. We've seen how
Cocoa.
tequila is processed and made. You know,
I went on the tequila tour in Puerto Rico there.
mhm. Yeah, we
Like,
went
oh
on.
yeah, I was toasted before I got back. The ship almost left us.
Oh,
I was trying to buy some diamonds at the shops there, and
Yeah.
and I was sitting there messing around, but I was half toasted, so I wasn't paying attention to the time. And then
Uh-oh.
when we went back to the boat, they were like, "Hurry, they're closing." So
So
they
you were a top runner. You know,
we were those guys. Yeah, they put us on a golf cart. Was like driving us down through
oh, funny. You're one of those, huh?
there. I was one of those guys that day. My kids were done on the boat and stuff, but like I said, I was lit, so
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about the time. We're good.
Yeah. But we love cruising. We if we were wealthy, we would go on cruises all the time, all over the world.
you're semi-wealthy.
Well,
Not really. I'm poor.
I have some friends that's what they do. They cruise all over the place, and
Yeah.
they've been to the Alaska cruises and to the different country cruises, and that's kind of their thing. They're part of the Royal Caribbean
Yeah.
club or whatever, so they get special deals and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were telling us, before we went, they're like, you guys are going to spend very little time in your room, so get an inside room where you don't have to pay extra for being out.
Yeah.
So we got a couple rooms for us and then the kids, and then it worked out, and it was cheaper because you're barely in your room anyway, so why pay the extra money? So stay in. And
Yeah, we've done the inside rooms, and I don't like them because I have a thing about being able to see outside.
sure.
So I always get one that has a window, no matter what.
Right.
But we've done the inside ones, and they're cheaper and they're okay. But I just have a thing about being in a closet. So, yeah, but the last couple of times, we're on Carnival. We're gold members now, and so you get upgrades. And we had a deluxe room with 2 bathrooms last time. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's a good thing.
but now we're looking at Norwegian.
What's that? Norwegian? The cruise that we were on, it was one of the first times that ship went out. And again, it's been some years, so it was nice and new. And we had Gloria Estefan was on our cruise.
Wow, cool.
And
She
also,
sang?
I seen her. There was what's the 16-year-old party for the kids?
Quinceañera?
Yeah, there was one of those going on for some rich girls on the boat, and she was part of that, and she was hanging out with them.
I know Mexicans do that, but I don't know if Cubans and Puerto Ricans do.
A lot of different. They do a lot of the Spanish influence folks do that. But,
And then also Mike from what is that program that he's got? He's
Dirty Jobs.
Dirty Jobs. Yeah, he was on there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually filmed part of an episode on the boat cruise, and he was like, "Well, I'm coming from Carnival Cruise, da 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 da," and then, they're showing what's going on back at his studio or whatever, and then
So up to their elbows and shit, and he's on a cruise machine.
right, he's on the cruise. He's talking about, look, we're going out for the
laundry or something is probably what he was doing. Something dirty
I
job.
don't know what it was, but he was showing them doing it and him on the cruise, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that was the people that I remember that was famous that was on the cruise with us. Like,
I haven't seen any famous people but me.
So,
famous YouTuber.
you're not famous, but you're famous. That guy,
Mm.
like the
I'm
other guy.
famous in my own world. You
There
know.
you go. A legend in his own mind.
But we're looking at Norwegian the next time. We're thinking about trying them. They have a lot of really good deals, and it looks to, one thing about Carnival that I don't like is they're pretty much all the same ship. Now that's good because once you know one ship, you can get around all the ships.
Right,
But the decor is so similar.
right.
So I think it'd be nice to go to a cruise ship that you haven't been on yet that maybe is a little fancier.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're thinking about that. We're thinking about
How many cruises you been on? That's
I've
a
been
lot.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
I probably will never be on. Well, no, I will never be on one.
I think
That's just
3.
not for me.
I think after the kids get old enough, then I'll take my wife on one, so I don't have to pay for them too.
That's right. Okay.
There you go. Get the hell out of here.
I'm only paying for 2 people rather than 4.
Well, and for the money, you can't beat a good cruise.
Yeah, for the money, it was way cheaper for us to go on a cruise than
Inclusive deal, right?
than what we usually spend if we go to Disney World or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I went to Dominican once. So this is back in 2012. $1,000 inclusive. 7 days, 6 night kind of thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what you can do a cruise for, something like that, And I think we paid like, it might have been like 1,400.
Boy. Well,
Per-
I don't worry about falling over the edge of the boat when I'm on the beach, though.
Well, the last cruise we took, our airline, we had to fly from Arkansas to Miami, and our airline tickets were more expensive than our 8-day cruise.
Right. Yeah.
But with Norwegian, they have a lot of deals where they pay for one of your tickets.
Right.
And the drink packages is better, and the excursions are cheaper, and they give you money for that and this and that. So I did a bunch of math a couple months ago, and Norwegian, even though on the surface looks like it's more expensive versus Carnival, if you get down to all the extra money that you got to pay to get there, Norwegian is still about 10% more expensive. Only 10%. So I think that's worth it.
Sure.
And it's more of a white glove type program versus Carnival.
Tim asked if there's any cruises that start in the Philippines. Tim, from what I understand, there is cruises in the Philippines, but I don't know.
Yeah, the ferries.
Yeah, I've been on a bunch of those ferries, but
Tim, I can answer that because we were hoping when we were there that we could go to Asia, but with the pandemic and the drama,
It messed everybody up.
it just screwed it. It just didn't work. But I did study on that, and back before the pandemic, they were planning on a port of call was going to be the Philippines.
Yeah.
They were working on that.
Boracay? Boracay?
I don't remember which.
Hey, Boracay. That's a.
But they were going to make a port of call in the Philippines, and part of it is going to go through like Thailand and Singapore and Hong Kong and whatever as part of the loop. What they were doing out in the Philippine Sea when the COVID stuff happened, they were actually staging a lot of cruise ships out in the Philippine Sea close to the Philippines. But there's not a Philippine currently back then or last 6 months.
Yeah.
There's not a Philippine cruise that leaves out of the Philippines. What you would have to do is fly somewhere and then take the cruise on the one that was going to hit at the Philippines, because they were like stop number 3 on a 5-stop cruise. So
I love taking. That was my first time ever taking a ferry. I went up to Naga from Mindanao there, and that was some beautiful scenery. I think there were schools of tuna jumping across the bow, stern of the boat, and very, very peaceful.
Which ferries did you take? Did you go Fast Cat or?
No, I took whatever one they take on the cars and buses and all that.
Well, Fast Cat gets those as well.
No, it wasn't a fast cat. It was just a traditional older.
Yeah.
A couple of them, because the bus would only go so far. I don't know if we jumped off on the ferry 3 times on the way up there,
Right.
Hey, Timmy.
but
Everybody
it was nice, man. I might do that. I might do that when I go for my 13A. I'll go up to Cebu for a trip and just do it. I mean,
Timmy's in the house. He's saying hi to everybody. Is everybody saying
hello,
hi?
Timmy. Hello.
We
What's up,
appreciate
Timmy?
your
Good
support.
evening. How is Malaysia?
So, but we'd love to take an Asian cruise or the one that goes to Australia, but it just didn't work out. So Lorelai would really like to go to
Hey.
Europe. So we may go.
You know what? I was standing at one of the ports. I forget, it was Ricardo or something, and there was a native Filipino there, a black dude, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. It was about 70, 75, maybe 75, and I had shorts on, and I'm one where if I'm cold, I'll be bitching. And this guy had on the kind of jacket that you put on if it's like 20 below zero.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, man. That was hilarious to see that one.
So yeah, we got some friends that his wife is coming over here. That want to go on a cruise. They're a younger couple than us, so we may try to go to Europe or something.
I was about 50 when I started doing stuff like that, because all the while before that, it was either nobody had no money or, so and so didn't want to go and all this crap. And then when I was like 2012, I just started doing stuff,
Timmy says it's kind of cold in Malaysia. You asked him if are you saying it's cold over there? Yeah.
No, I said, no, I got nothing about it. Ain't cold over there. Kind of cold. Well, to them it's cold.
What, 75 degrees?
Well, you know what? Last winter, there was a blast where I was in Minden. I was about overnight low was constantly at 74, except one time it had a blast. I didn't have no blanket. That was an Antarctic blast. It was, you could feel it.
But Timmy, here where I'm at, we are in the process of getting roughly no more than a foot of snow. So is what's predicted. So yeah, you're 65 degrees.
So you got somebody to come and plow your driveway?
I don't do that. Why would you shovel a driveway? You just drive over the snow.
Oh boy.
Why would you go through all the effort to shovel that shit? Here it goes away in 2 days. I'm not shoveling anything.
Okay.
Tim, we got a snow event coming here where we're at, and the big question we've been asking everybody is, so I want your opinion too. If you could pick any food from any nation in the world, which and you remember she's a Filipina, so we got to be careful here. But Tim,
you gotta be.
Which country would be your go-to food? That's what I'm asking.
Hey, David, don't lump us in with you. You're the one that get the beaten by yourself.
Well, you're the troublemaker. I'm the good one. So Tim says a Filipino sailor is about 75%. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but
yeah, it's a good subject.
yeah, there's a lot of what do they call them? Seafarers, right? Isn't that the term they use in the Philippines? That
you know what? The smart guys like that, they go out and make their living, either in the Navy or the other merchant, and they a lot of sacrifice too. You're not at home with your family, but they live in large after that.
Yeah, it's a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy says there's a place here in Malaysia that for them it's cold, but I can't relate because the temperature is like the temperature in my hometown of the Philippines. Bang out is colder. Yeah, okay, all right. And then Cameroon. All
Well,
right.
she's a little bit, just a slightly closer to the Antarctic there.
Yeah.
Timmy, if you want to come up on the panel, you're more than welcome to join us. I promise.
Timmy's
Uh,
problem.
you'll be nice.
What do you promise, David?
That you'll be nice.
I'm not the one with the wife in the other room watching this.
Well, but she's busy. She's worked today,
Uh-huh.
but she's support staff.
There you go.
She is.
There you go.
Very good.
She's listening to you, Mr. Yang. So
I know she is.
you better be careful, man.
I haven't told her everything yet, David.
Yeah. So you better be
Hey,
careful.
thanks for that website, lapdances.com.
Well, we figured you needed it.
Oh man, I had enough of that to last my lifetime. All this is getting me in trouble.
But where were we at? We're crazy. Seaman, right? Is that what they call? Yeah, in the Philippines, the term they were using all the time. Oh, my husband or my brother, or my uncle's a seaman.
Yeah, that's what they always say. Seaman.
Yeah, a seaman. But because everybody would point out, oh, that house belongs to a seaman. I'm like, yeah, well, okay.
I saw one on that dude that does the home videos, Randy Yarrow, and one of the guys that was having the house built, he had like he had a circle. It was a propeller, and then it was the wheel. Around it was the helm or whatever. Don't know exactly what it's called, but that was pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Tim says my wife is the supporting staff that she'll beat me with the staff.
Yeah. She'll wait till he's sleeping, though, Tim.
My wife's a good wife.
Yeah, sure. Well, nobody said she wasn't.
Oh,
Except the other day you kind of alluded to that, but that's okay. I ain't gonna say that.
No, you better watch it. She's listening.
Oh, I better, man. Oh my God.
Whether it's bad, or she'll drive up there and smack you.
Uh-oh. I guess I'm not coming down there. I was gonna come down there before I left.
We'll see. You should. It should be able to smack you.
I'll just drive by with a bullhorn and talk that way.
But yeah, I know they were all impressed with the employees or the guys that were seamen. I guess it's a big deal to be a seaman there.
Yeah. Kind of like OFW, but maybe
The male version.
Yeah, the male version. There are OFW men that go to different countries, but it's more common for them to be a seaman. So.
I wonder which makes a better living, a seaman or an OFW.
Seaman.
Yeah, I would think a seaman.
Lorelei says a seaman.
My uncle made big money when he was Great Lakes here. He was on the boat behind Edmund Fitzgerald. You got lucky. He was supposed to be on that one, but they had enough guys for that trip, so they put him on the one behind that ship. So he lived he was 81 when he died.
Well, but I also think it probably depends on what OFW job you do.
No, you ain't nearly gonna make no money on OFW like you will on Seafair.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it depends on what boat you're on.
Well, but I've seen some of them where they get treated horrible on those boats.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like slave labor. If you're lucky, they let you off.
Right.
Well, I mean, sleeping on the deck and
Time is money with those things,
Yeah, one of the ferries I was on, I seen where they slept and all that stuff, and I was like, ooh,
damn.
Eee. What are you guys doing in there? What is this? Everybody, it was like it was kind of like they were at home. It was just going between the islands or whatever. Ferry, but yeah, the boat was kind of older and stuff. They were just floored up in one like room.
Mm-hmm. Craig says that he has a brother-in-law that's a seaman engineer, makes real good money. Yeah. When I was a young man, my brothers and I were actually going to we applied, I think, I can't remember how far we got, but we applied to work on cruise ships, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. But I was going to go in as a safety person many years ago.
Gee.
So that would have been different.
Yeah.
Different pay for the different jobs on the ship.
Mm.
What I'm always surprised about is how many Filipinos we run into on the cruise ships.
Oh yeah,
You know,
like Filipino and Indian. You get a lot of those as far as the staff.
but
Person.
I'm always shocked. Lorelai winds up making 10 or 20 friends by the end of the cruise.
Exactly.
Well, and it's like they've known each other for 500 years. So, I'm really, and I tell guys that are looking for, they ought to just go on cruise ships, and then that shows that you've met them already. And if it works out, you can prove to the government, if you do it right, that you've met them in person, and you don't got to go to the Philippines for a K-1 visa because you met the requirement of meeting them in person. Because the K-1 doesn't say you got to go to the home country; it says you got to meet in person.
Exactly. Just get some pictures with them.
Yeah.
Show that you were out of.
Oh, brother.
Prove you traveled.
Yeah, and communication and stuff. And but I've told guys that just go on a cruise ship now.
That's a good one. I might have to tell people that.
Kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So
you don't. Do you have to have a passport to go on a cruise nowadays?
No, here's how that works. It's if you do a closed loop, meaning like if you leave from New Orleans and come back to New Orleans, no. But like one of the cruises I want to go on is from Miami to Los Angeles through the Panama Canal. That one you do. So you got to, because you're going to a different port. So if you return to the same one, no, but it's best to have. And because then you can go to the other countries and have it stamped if you want.
Sure.
Timmy says, my bro was about to go to the cruise ship, but his girlfriend doesn't allow him to go. He followed her, but he regretted it last year to find another man. Yeah, stupidity at its finest. Well, Timmy, I hate to say this, but men are not very bright. And I got to be careful about how I say this, but we will follow a pretty girl deep into a ditch before we realize we're in a ditch. So, hopefully he can get back to the cruise ship. Let's see. James says, Tim, in '99, I was on a Filipino cargo ship at the port of Oakland in California.
Wow.
I was a lasher at that time. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody who ties the boats up. On my break, I got a tour of the ship. Cool. So is a lasher the guy that ties the boat up? I don't know what that is. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but I'm trying to be nice, Craig. So, but we talked to a lot of the cruise ship workers on cruises, and it's not a bad gig. It's either a 7 or a 9-month contract. We met a couple there, a married couple that have, they live together on the cruise ship, and they do 10-month contracts, if I remember right. And they've been saving and paying for a house in the Philippines, and they have a whole financial plan about retirement and everything. Timmy says that she understands and she agrees with Craig. She's like, that's what I told him. I know what you're doing. So it ain't worth it in the end.
Timmy, what's going on, Timmy?
Timmy,
what's going on, Timmy?
So did you get him straightened out? Is he got his head on straight now? So that
he's probably still chasing. He's guys be chasing.
P equals P. That's what I say.
Yeah, but hopefully he'll get it together. But we talked about this just this weekend. We were talking once again about the nursing stuff to get Filipinos in America. You want to come to America, become a nurse.
Yeah.
we have a friend that sends his children from America to the Philippines to become nurses there, get a nursing degree, and then come back here.
Yeah.
Right. You still gotta test when you go back to the
You do.
state.
You do.
So
But the colleges in the Philippines are designed and set up for the nurse to be able to pass that test in America to become here.
right.
So there's colleges that kind of specialize in.
And it's a lot cheaper too. So
Well, that's what he said. One semester would be the 4 year. One semester in America was the equivalent of the 4 year degree.
sure.
So
Yep.
that
Yeah,
or papers.
My son that's in ninth grade, he's on track to become an engineer. That's kind of his studies right now. And his grandfather's an engineer, his uncle's an engineer, and
Okay.
he may become an engineer. But some of the stuff that he's doing in high school, he's in this like special course, special classes and stuff. It's like he's got to maintain a certain grade average and all that stuff. And some of the stuff that they have him do, and I'm like, good Lord. And I thought the Philippines is supposed to be easier, not I need to hire a tutor just to get him through this high school course. Good Lord.
I think that's a misnomer. I think a lot of people think that the Philippine education system is not very
Right.
good.
Right.
But I actually disagree. A lot of it is getting the right track. It's a good education system.
Right. And it's the right, going to the right school, going to the right, if you go into a public school and you want to ride, an easy ride, it's probably there, just like America.
Right.
But, I argued with somebody one day that, I had two older sons in America and the American school system, and now I got the two younger kids that are now in the Philippine school system. And I mean, my kids in the Philippine school system are learning multiple instruments, and it's just so much more to it than just
So which one do you think is better?
Well, I don't down the Philippine system anymore, other than during the COVID situation. It was trash. But other than that, I think it's a good learning system. It's I don't think it's recovered all the way from post COVID because they just went back to school not too long ago. What's up, John Baker?
John Baker.
John Baker, JB.
Yeah,
How are you, my friend? John
trying to
Baker.
get my kids used to going to school every day. It's hard for my younger one. He thinks, well, I didn't go to school all last year. Why do I have to go to school every day this year?
Well, that or work on a banana farm or something.
Well, and in all fairness, the American school system during the pandemic was a total clusterfuck also.
Yeah.
I talked to my old boss one day at the college, and part of it was we talked about not only at the college level but every level. Everybody was so unprepared.
Right.
They didn't know what to do, so it was a cluster here too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was horrible there in the Philippines how they handled it, and just trying to recover from that.
There wasn't any other. It was something new to a lot of people.
Right.
You got to do these decisions and things that do are huge. You got to. You can't have every country and government collapse.
John Baker says mass hysteria. You're right. Everybody say John saying hi, everybody. I don't know.
Well, you know what? When that first started, the Fauci guy first off said, "Wearing a mask ain't going to help you." Then all of a sudden, because it made people feel better about it, then they said you got to wear one.
He got a kickback from the mask companies. That's why he started promoting them.
Yeah, that was it.
But nobody remembers the beginning when he said it wouldn't help you.
I do. I've seen the videos.
Yeah, and miraculously, cancer was cured during that period of time, and everything else. You never heard about nothing else. Heart
But
disease.
the school system in the Philippines is decent. I don't think it's
No, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either.
yeah. So
My
I,
kid's in a private one for what that's worth.
I do think they try, and that's part of what I think. I think the Philippine education system tries.
Oh, absolutely, sure.
You know, I really do. I think they go, well, look, we're going to try to do the best we can with the resources we have to educate these. Tim says it's not like the school system worldwide had a. That's right. Nobody had a contingency plan. When I taught at the college, we had a contingency plan for a lot of things. Active shooter, tornadoes, you name it. Chemical weapons. We had a plan for. We had a plan for chemical spills, but we had no plan for a virus, or no plan for that. None at all. Nobody did.
Right.
Mass hysteria, yeah. But at
John,
least that's over now. Life's getting back to normal.
that was round one, though. Unfortunately, we'll see what they do next time.
I knew it in the beginning. I knew when they had a handle on something, I knew something else would pop up to keep their shit going. You know what I mean? It's all it's all by design.
Well, next time, I personally believe if there is a next time, relatively soon, meaning not in another 100 years, but with the same memory that we have of the last one, it won't be anything like that. I think the American people will tell the government, "You try to shut me down."
Well,
But
I never went in.
Yeah, it won't be, the government won't be able to do what they did.
Yeah, but in a place like the Philippines, people were bending over backwards to fall in line. They in our area. Now that I can talk about it since I'm not there right now. So in our area, I watched the government get money. So the barangay would get more money by the more cases that they claimed
That's
to
right.
have.
I remember that.
And it's that's total bullshit. That's everybody that had a cold, had a cough, everybody was getting diagnosed with COVID, no matter what.
I remember that
everything.
doctors were getting paid for every case they diagnosed, right?
Freaking, you didn't hear nothing about heart disease, did you?
Right. Everybody that was
Cancer.
passed away in the hospital, if they were allowed to put COVID was the cause on your certificate, they would cancel out their
That's right.
bill that they owed to the hospital. So everybody was claiming COVID. I know of a lady that got hit by a vehicle, and they said she died of COVID.
Yeah. You know what? They worked real hard at surpassing the Spanish flu death toll because they were striving for that. That's what that was. But back then, of course, there were no vaccines. Just I think this vaccine now is full of shit. But the Spanish flu there, people kept on keeping on. That's all you can do. They like this where they shut down the world for it. I think they were testing people.
They were trying to see how control they could get over.
Yeah, exactly. I had Moderna shots, and both of them nearly killed me. So there's no way I'm getting near another one of those.
What you have to understand about the Spanish flu was there's no way they could shut the world down because the communication system wasn't.
I'm just using that as a hypothetical
I
thing.
know what I'm saying, but that's why they didn't do it. Versus today's world, everybody has a cell phone, and you can send out an alert, to everybody in the world, and
when I went out for my the day after I retired, I went out. My friend and I went out to eat no more, and I coughed a little bit, and you could hear some guy going, "Where was that from? Who was that?"
Shoot them, round them up, get them.
It's so cool. This guy was in there with about his 10-year-old son, and they got up and left. When he told the waitress, I retired. I was 59 then, and this guy was sitting with his kid, and he said, "Congratulations." I said, "Thanks." and they left. And then the waitress came up to us and said, "The guy that just left, he paid for your breakfast." You know, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Here's something that's interesting that a lot of people need to understand in this weirdness
Mm.
um, is Walmart. Walmart's tracking you. Walmart, every time you use a self checkout,
That
they
no,
right. And if you what they're doing, and this is happening, is if you got 10 cans of peas and you mess up and only get 9 scanned, well, once they get a certain dollar amount, they got your picture, they got your credit card information, they got all
they that
come after
that's this
you.
this guy was saying about the that you can pay with your phone. He said that's all by design for later on down the road.
It is all by design, but
So,
Walmart will come after you now after you've got enough to be criminally charged. You
Right.
know, so you gotta. I'm starting to think, man, we shouldn't use
hey,
checkout anymore.
people are gonna, as we go on and on with things, people are being get wiser and wiser as to what's happening, and anything that's taken the wrong turn as far as society's concerned is gonna rise up against this shit.
Tim says that it will take a long time for the Philippines to recover from the destruction of the pandemic. I agree.
Mm.
I think it's taken a lot longer than the Philippines and other countries.
Well, their officials said that they didn't think it was going to have the effect it did.
Yeah. Well,
But
nobody. Yeah.
of course, they weren't starving. They had their income. So
Right. But then you get the pandemic in the Philippines. I think the problem with the
mm.
Philippines and the pandemic was you had so many different people making so many different sets of rules.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that was the problem. And then, of course, you get the super typhoon
change
afterwards.
changing every other day too.
Yeah,
Um,
you couldn't be consistent, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
but
But
We
anyway, here we are.
we,
We all
we would
met
try
because of the pandemic.
to drive down to Davao to our other house and stuff,
Mm.
and along the way, we would have to sit there and fill out their safety card for this town. It's like, excuse me, I'm not staying in this town. I'm driving through. I'm not going to make a stop.
right,
But we would have to sit there and fill out their, their whatever their cards were called at that time. And like, man, this is a bunch of horse shit. This town would require it. The next one wouldn't. And it was just crazy. I had a pass for my car. Kind of like it
Mm.
wasn't a nurse, but it was my brother-in-law's a engineer, so my car is registered under them, and so
it's like a priority vehicle.
yeah, so we could travel, so even with that, they would try to stop you and fill out this, fill out that. Like, look, no, I'm not filling out all that mess. I'm just traveling. I'm not.
Craig is asking if all of us have signed our new YouTube terms of service agreements. I've signed mine, Craig. I got one about a week or more ago and signed it. So I don't know if what about you guys?
Yeah, I
But
did. It said it's going to spy on me and
Yeah,
keep 40% of any money that I earned. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm down for that.
yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, we've signed ours, and uh, yeah, I don't know. Just sign it and go on because if you're gonna use their platform, they're gonna do what
Yeah,
they're gonna
what are you
do.
going to do? Yeah, Timmy, in our area, we had a Russell Park in our area that never got any kind of attention or anything. Suddenly during the COVID, nobody's allowed to go to the park, but suddenly they got a budget to fix up this park. Suddenly the little trucks that the baranggays would drive, if their barangay had enough COVID cases, suddenly they traded in that barangay truck, the little ones, and they got a Hilux. So it's like you see all this money getting pushed around, and it's a total BS.
Craig wants to know Reddit. Craig, I know where you're going probably. So what detail of it concerns you? You know, what was the scary part or the hustle part? You know, if local government units are correct, they are, without question. You know, if you got a little cash to throw around, you get whatever you want.
I would see our mayor tell everybody how you got to have your mask on all the time, and he had his down like this. Like the shit with it. If he ain't gonna wear his, I ain't wearing mine. I'm the same.
Yeah, we had some of that going on here too. We had a lot of people long before, you know, it was really stupid in the beginning. You had these cities trying to say you got to do this or that, and they would try to arrest you if you did it. If you went outside for a walk, you know, it was the stupidest thing ever. So, pocket of the local government unit, yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, I wonder, Craig, did you not like the terms of agreements and all of that of the YouTube sent out for us?
I read a little bit of it and I got tired of it, so I just closed it, checked it, and closed it.
Yeah,
Like I got to do it anyways to be on the format. So
yeah, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? And there's not a whole lot we can do about it. You know, same thing with Facebook and everybody else.
yeah.
You know, I don't think there's a really good platform that is fair to the creators anywhere. So I don't think there's a platform that the main purpose is just to generate revenue, not, you know, be like a free speech type of thing.
Right.
You know, but Section C gives them the right to take back and offset income created from a video if it becomes demonetized. Yes, I remember that. And I saw a couple of videos, people talking about that. So if you got a video that becomes demonetized for some reason and you made $100, they do have the right to get that $100 back, which is not fair because people have already watched and seen those stupid ads. So you can't take back the ad watching.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, it's already kind of been eaten. It's like the steak dinner.
Right.
You know, I don't like the steak dinner. Well, you ate it. Well, yeah, but I didn't like it.
Right.
So I don't want to pay for it. So it is kind of crazy.
Yep. Crazy.
You know, but luckily I haven't had anything demonetized. I guess I haven't broken any rules. I've been lucky about that. So, well, all right, guys, my 2 hours is up. I only do 2 hours
Already?
already.
My God.
Too much fun.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, the Yank is on Friday nights. Timmy is on in the mornings. If you guys didn't know, Timmy's on. Craig, if you want to tell everybody, do you ever do any live streams, Craig?
Tim, James, John.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody. Remember, we do ours every Tuesdays. So Tim says they should have grandfather clause in that agreement. I would agree with that. I agree. So, new creators.
Okie dokie.
Right. So, all right, guys, take care.
See ya.
Go eat some good food and enjoy the day.
Let's see.
Timmy, we appreciate you.
Ta-ta.
Timmy.